You're right. It's funny. That's the one thing we were talking about as the broadcast goes on here with the young players, especially for the Sun Devils scouting and buying into all of that. There's so much to absorb that freshmen have to get used to that. And we've seen there are some on the side of the Wildcats as well. On defense shifts, Caitlin Lowe was talking about that. Scouting report shifts, and the players that buy into that quickly have more success.
2-0 the count to the patient Kaya Altmaier. Takes an off-speed pitch that dots the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike the count to Kaya. She walked, as she does so often, back in the first inning. Patrick Henry High School, San Diego, California. Yeah, she was honored last year during her journey. Earned a good old-fashioned Pac-12 Player of the Week award last year. She's got the catcher's mitt there. That's catcher's interference. Boy, it's funny. You have one that's hit 30 feet. You have another one that hits a catcher's mitt, and you have 2 runners on because of that. A break for Arizona. They're going to pitch her carefully. This is power through and through. We saw a real aggressive Ruthian cut first time up. Doubled. Had her off balance, but doubled into left center field. Swinging bunt single and a catcher's interference. 1-1 the count on Nets.
Big swing there from Nets. And we've seen Kenzie Brown. She got out of trouble in that first inning, but she's back in it here. 1 out and 2 on.
To the backstop it goes, and far enough away for the base runners to move up to second and third. It went in and out of the catcher's mitt there of Sam Swan.
Yeah, that one just gets away, and that's unfortunate. And that's going to be, guess what? Another meeting happening on the mound as the Sun Devils are going to try to talk about how to get out of this one.
Yeah, these are situations where you want to make sure you're right. You want to feel like you're right. Jeremy Manley is the pitching coach, and he gets a ton of credit for this staff, top to bottom, not just the ace of this staff. He's coaching and developing 2 freshmen on this staff as well. He was there at Ball State with his head coach who made the move out here after stopping at Texas. He's been coaching and teaching pitching for so long, internationally in New Zealand, different parts of the world. Great pitching mind out there teaching. 2-1 pulls her hands in. Down the line it goes. Out front, and it's foul.
See that power of Devin Nets. She's going to look to drive something here.
And Mika Lupi, the sophomore, is tossing it a bit in the pen right now. Kind of the second on that depth chart for ASU pitchers. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Curveball in the bottom fell out. That was an excellent drop ball, just heavy, like it had an anchor, like a...
She crushed that softball, I should say. There's another look at the swing, and, at 6 foot...
On top as that curveball runs away, up and away, to Stoddard, who walked.
How big is that caught stealing, Darren?
Huge. Huge play, certainly. And again, it's what's frustrating, I think, is the little things that led to the home run. You got a swinging bunt. You've got a catcher's interference. But the homer's the homer's the homer. That wasn't a bad break. That was a really good piece of hitting. Three and 0 the count.
Now it's going to be, how does Brown respond with 2 outs here, and now it's 3-0.
Outside. Curveball just kept running, and a couple of walks for Stoddard. Obviously, the base runner that reaches on the catcher's interference, that is an error. That's an unearned run. But even if 2 of these runs are earned, understand this. How good has Kenzie Brown been this year? In one swing of the bat, she allowed 3 runs overall. 2 are earned. She has allowed, coming into this, 10 earned runs all year. All year, 10 earned runs.
Yeah, this is definitely unfamiliar territory for Kenzie Brown to be dealing with. Not so much a line. They've seen some pretty good lineups, but being in the type of trouble with the base runners that she's had, and not all of it hard contact. You're right. That's something you talk about, the 3 runs, 2 earned. It's going to bump up that .91 ERA, which was 9th in the country coming into this game.
Emily Shep, infield back, outfield back as well, as she takes in and off the plate. 1-1 the count. It was against BYU. It was 8 strikeouts on the 8th day of March that Brown allowed 4 runs overall. Against Central Florida in a win, she allowed 4 runs, but none of them earned. Twice she has reached that total of 4 runs. That's it. Just twice this year. Down off the end of the bat.
3-run lead now. She's going to attack. She's been attacking. She'll continue to do that.
And she hits the outside corner, as you said. 0-1 the count to Davis. Davis, another one of those freshmen. There are 3 freshmen, 1 sophomore in the starting lineup, and Tequila, a .417 on base percentage this year. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Georgetown, Delaware, Sussex Central High School. There's that pitch in, but it's off the plate. That's a good looking take.
Yeah, like you said, Stoddard likes to pitch in. Davis had good discipline there.
Right back in there, bobbled. You better hurry fast. Diving attempt, got her with the tag. Devin Nentz bobbled it, and there's really, really good speed in those legs of Tiare Ho Ching. First time up, flied to center field. Long Beach Poly out in Southern California. Right under her knuckles, and boy, that was a tough pitch. A screwball. That's another one with those teeth we talked about.
And she's got 4 home runs, but I asked Coach Bartlett earlier today, what do you think? She's just a freshman. She said, yeah, more muscle in the offseason.
Uncomfortable contact. 1 hop back to the circle. And an easy chance that time. 1-3 if you score long. If you do that in an old-fashioned way. Here's what I know, though, that I see. That is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive ground ball outs, Jody.
Yep, you are right, and that is exactly what you said Stoddard was going to try to do. She can do it well with the way that her pitches dive down. She can get those ground balls, and that's exactly what has happened with the Sun Devils. They're trying to elevate, but so far, anything that's been in the air, and there hasn't been much, has been caught.
It starts as a defensive meeting. Obviously, talking pitching as well. I'm guessing maybe just situationally.
I'm not
Curious
sure.
to see how she responds, because this is one of those moments. Look, the game looks very easy from our comfortable tea house up here. But you got a pitcher with some momentum and comfort. But the coach does reserve the right, if there's something on their mind, to go out there and share it, correct? I mean, that's doesn't always have to make sense.
Seems like something must have been on the list of discussion here.
Christian Conrad went out there. He's the assistant pitching coach as well. Coming over after 3 really good years, Conrad, with Caitlin, by the way, at Loyola Marymount prior to that. Caitlin wasn't there. He was there.
Mm-hmm. And Kelsey Hall steps out. This is a young lady with a bunch of homers in her career. And now in her final season. healthy and trying to make it a memorable one.
Right back in there. Nice soft hands over at first base to turn that throw into an out from Devin Nentz. 7 consecutive ground ball outs, an opportunity to talk inside that. Oh, the count. Sniffen popped up to the second baseman, her first time up. Kenzie Brown working in the circle. It's mom and dad, Lisa and Andy, and there are 8 siblings, 9 total Brown children. 9. God bless you, mom and dad. Ranging from age 24 down to 8.
That's
8 years old.
That's stressing me out just thinking about it. But no shortage of competition, I'm sure, in the household when you've got 8 siblings.
That's amazing. That's amazing. A lot of love in that house, I'm sure, as that one way inside skips to the backstop. Yeah, Kenzie, talking about family. When you have a family of that size, how much it means. You can see what she's doing, missing quite a bit out of the zone. She wants to improve upon that ratio. But with family meaning so much, she has shared out there quite a bit how much her grandfather meant to her. She lost him in 21, so when she's in that circle, he's there. And someone who came to a lot of her games when she was young. She grew up in the Midwest in Illinois. And so that's a bit of an inspiration, several years removed from losing him. Made the choice to transfer here back in the summer of 22.
Well, no doubt he is proud of what she is doing in the circle.
3-1 the count.
Yeah, Coach mentioned how big the town was that she's from, Lake City, Illinois, and I cannot remember the number that she threw out, but it was small.
She definitely threw out the stoplights. I think she said there's 1 or 2 stoplights. Signs, lights, I forget which one it was.
But it just shows you that you will be found when you have this kind of talent. The schools were coming after her, and she initially chose Tulsa and landing here at Arizona State. But, you know, if you have this kind of stuff, you will end up at a very good D1 school, and that's exactly what has happened with Kenzie Brown. And that
by the way,
walk.
Jody, according to the census, we are told 2020, it's right around 70. Not 1,000, not 700,000, 70 people.
Is that? I thought that's what she. I almost had to fact check myself after I heard that. I'm like, did I really hear that? 70. So basically, with her siblings were just like a tenth of the whole population, right? But I'm guessing. Now I'm really interested. It must have been. I'm guessing a pretty big farm, just a lot of land and not as many people.
Tag along, the pitch runner. Number 2.
Pitch runner for Arizona. Zadie Tagalog will run out there. Tagalog, sophomore from Tucson, daughter of Crystal and Tyken. As that one batted ball, clipped her in the box. So she'll come back and swing it again. Strike 1. Taylor Beal grounded out to second. Back in the second. He's in the hole 0-2.
Just going to try to lay down a bunt here. We mentioned that coming into this game, her average 284, but she has been hitting much better of late, so she's actually raised that average, and of course Beal hoping that's trending upward.
So she hit a bunch of homers last year, 6 overall, but 5 of them were in conference play, and they're hoping that's what happens. That as the weather gets warmer, the games get bigger, the power comes, as that one will skip to the backstop. Took Sam a long time to find it. Real big aggressive turn by Tagalog, but she'll stay there at second.
You saw Stephen Gould, the home plate umpire, and Taylor Beal both kind of scatter to their respective sides, and Sam Swan just trying to find the ball.
1-2 the count. Wildcats coming in 27-4 on the year. Nice job, but the runner takes off, and there's going to be a rundown. Tagalog looking. She's got an open door and slid right through that door.
Nice base running right there by Tagalog. It looked like they were going to have her hung up, but then she doesn't make the throw, and next thing you know, she's over there at third safely.
And where that got a little sideways, and A.J. Murphy will tell you, I was a little bit late getting there.
Yeah.
Didn't get into the fun early. It's almost like waiting in line for that next snack. You just get in line, and then you get your chance. And she was just late, so much so that Kenzie Brown opted to come in and try and help her out. 2-2 the count. Boy, hunting a strikeout if she's ever needed one. She didn't get it. It's a high fly ball to center. Is it deep enough? Squared up by Wendell. It is deep enough.
Strong in those situations, and they were able to get it done.
And so again, going to talk pitching, going to make a pitching move. And it's a victory for the Cats. You take one of the best pitchers in the country and you chase her from this game. You've done exactly what they wanted to do. So call into the bullpen and an answer into the circle. So it's Mika Lupi. She answers that call. 56 1/3 innings. It's a different kind of approach. Not quite as many strikeouts, but let's be honest. There's nothing wrong with those numbers. Here's the most important thing I see, Jody. She doesn't walk anyone. 8 walkouts total, which means you're going to have to hit her to beat her. Again, very similar to Stoddard, where she's looking to hit your bat.
And Bartlett said she came in as a freshman purely fastball. She has worked on all those other pitches: drop, cutter, rise, change. Change is still a work in progress.
She zips that one right down the middle to Dakota Kennedy. Welcome to a challenge. She's embraced tech. She watched a lot as a freshman. She's learned the sport even more. She's truly a student in the circle of the game as she goes on the outside corner. Bing, bang, boom. 0-2. That's the way you start coming out of the pen.
And like you said, strike thrower, and that's what she's trying to do, is just get ahead. She did. She watched the other girls throw bullpens. Kenzie Brown has kind of taken Mika Lupi under her wing.
3 pitches. Puts an out on the scoreboard. Dakota.
For Mika Lupi as she enters the game.
Four strikes out of 4 pitches to start things. From Pleasant Grove, California, East Nicholas High School. "17 appearances overall last year. She changes up on her that time. Bottom fell out. She's yet to miss out of the strike zone.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pitch.
Ryan Shockey draws the corner of the infield and outfield in. And on 0-2, she slaps it on a line out towards short. And it's funny, when we talked to Caitlin and said, so talk to us a little bit about the plan of attack. Who's your starting pitcher? She keeps a lot under the vest. She just does, and that's fine as a coach. I mean, we begged for the lineup. We barely get it before the game. So she told us 3 different pitchers, indicating that this current pitcher would start, as that one's rolled to the right side, quickly gobbled up, and another ground ball out. Kelsey Hall is erased. But she talked about Miranda Stoddard would be out there pitching, Devin Netz and Saya Swain. She mentioned them all. If things keep going this way, Devin and Saya will be able to watch this game.
Exactly. You get out to the 4-0 lead, you have a 3-run homer, you tack on a run, and she's probably going to just continue to go with Stoddard, who continues to get ground balls, erasing Mejia right there. And now she'll face Tanya Wendell. And Wendell did get on base in her last at-bat.
On a line, right through the circle and into center field. Beautiful approach. That's what happens when you don't try to pull it.
And she's a junior locally here from Peoria, and really becoming one of the leaders on this team.
Murph in the hole, 0-1 the count on AJ. Local product as a high schooler, was a big star. Goodyear, Arizona, went to Millennium High School. Came back home after spending a couple of years to start her journey at San Diego State. 4 times played varsity at Millennium High School, 4 different years. Freshman year, she was already on the team.
She and Tanya Wendell might have attended a camp here together. You never know, but a lot of these young ladies that grew up here in the area, went to camps here.
A rare out in the air is what that one is. So they get Murphy, extends her hands. Good idea to go the other way, just couldn't square it up.
Yeah, and that's a catch that Shockey makes look easy, just running over there to her left. She does such a nice job in center field, and Stoddard continues to cruise along here with 2 outs.
Mejia with the ground out, Wendell with the single, Murphy flied out to center field. Bolt, but foul down the line. Dropped the hands on that one, did Aiden Allen. The Texan who made a move from Houston. Didn't play at all her freshman year at Houston. Played for a really good travel team, Texas Glory, if you know about that space. They're always winning something somewhere on a national level. Off-speed pitch and a dandy.
Yeah, as a softball mom myself, we have seen Texas Glory, and they are as advertised. They are a very good organization.
Aiden in the hole, 0-2, takes outside. Her dad Ryan played football and basketball, baseball at a high level. Her mom ran track and cross country at Texas State University. That's where her parents met. Skied back behind that second base bag. Easy chance for Kiki Escobar, who puts that one away. Couple of outs in the air, and the inning, a single, is stranded.
So your Arizona, Florida, not bad places to be in March, and it's funny because sometimes you get even some kind of crazy weather out here. But March can be a little strange, but it is beautiful today, and this whole entire weekend is going to be gorgeous.
Great weekend for softball. We'll be with you all weekend long. Kaya Altmaier continues to see the assault that is being drawn by Mika Lupi. So Lupi, by the way, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive outings in which she has been unscored upon, and she's been good. We're talking about a complete game worth of pitching. Matter of fact, she hasn't walked in anyone either in her last 4 outings. 0 walks, a bunch of strikeouts. She's pitching her best softball right now of the season.
And she is really, even though she's a sophomore, she's not a freshman, but she is part of this young core and getting better all the time.
Left-handed batters hit 250 against her. Righties 211, so there's a distinct advantage there. Where she's been really good. With runners on base, opponents are hitting just 230 against her. That's not the situation now. That means she just gets better when the chips are down. Strike 3, blazer right by, rise ball under her hands, and down she goes.
They're really nice.
I'm not surprised by this, even though, again, you have a pitcher comes in, literally can't throw a ball out of the zone if she tries. In my mind, as I watched Devin Netz walk towards the plate, one thing popped into my head. And maybe that's why he visited too. Homer. I literally popped it. Because when you get a pitcher around the zone that's comfortable, I think it's just a reminder that you have a hitter here that will destroy a mistake.
No, that's exactly right. And I'm sure that is what they're discussing because we know Devin Netz is a very dangerous hitter. 9 homers and looks like it's going to be a pitching change going to Julianne Tipton here. And
not only that, but a change. So we will dive deep into that. That kind of surprised us. More in a moment. Had a great conversation, and it was centered around the pitching staff today. Julianne Tipton, we learned quite a bit about her. You folks look at the numbers. There's a lot of walks. but there's a reason to dream on her success, isn't there?
There really is. And again, being a freshman, a lot to learn, but you will see the eye level change. She can go 8 to 9 inches down with a vertical break, 6 to 7 inches up. And her stuff is great. She has great spin, very efficient spin. She just has to battle youth and the mental side of pitching, which at whatever age you are, that is always the situation. But when she is good, she can be very, very good. And right now being called upon to face a dangerous hitter in Devin Netz, but I'm excited to see her. She had some really good innings in that series in Florida. But like you said, Darren, the walks can be a problem.
Yacker Tech, it's a technology company. They deliver all those advanced metrics that you love. She's breaking the machine with what she's able to do with spin, with drop, with rise. So there's a huge future as she jumps ahead on Nets. 0-1 the count. That's where you want to start. So her senior year of high school, 467 innings, 10 shutouts, 4 no-hitters, and 600 strikeouts. That's crazy. It feels like she had to pitch every day to have those kind of numbers.
600 strikeouts. That is truly incredible.
There's that screwball spin a moment ago we were talking about to Devin Netz. Devin doubled back in the first inning, struck out swinging in the third. Tipton backs off and had Netz way out front. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, just that off speed, keeping her off balance.
Utah Valley, back on the 16th day of February, the finest outing of the year for this pitcher. One she'll lean on, 4 2/3 shutout. 4 2/3 shutout in a win, and she was really good. An in-between swing, that's what you want to do when you get Netz where she can't commit. Second out of the inning.
Yeah, getting any kind of soft contact like that from Devin Netz is absolutely a win, and got a pitch she could drive from Kenzie Brown, and she did just that.
Up over that netting that extends well above the wall. She went about halfway up that netting. It basically protects beach volleyball. That's what it does. 0-1 to count. And seeing it all year long, calling a lot of the Wildcats games earlier in the year, that's what makes her so special. She's got that leverage and that length, but her power is to center over to right center. She's not dying to pull the softball, and that's what makes her so dangerous.
And she's got a good pure power swing.
Look at that. Lets it travel deep, hits a line drive to right field and a base hit.
Yeah, easy swing there.
Softball and baseball hitter. Stay short to the ball. Stay short to the ball. I'm tall. It's hard to stay short to the ball. And I always mention one hitter and there's many tall hitters. But the Dodgers' Freddie Freeman, who stands 6'5", who has those long arms, is kind of the epitome of baseball and softball hitters, of someone who stays short to the ball. And she does that. Willingness to go that way. 0-2.
That's just a nice rise there that gets swung through, and the previous strike was a ball that had some late life dipping down.
So Sid Stew a moment ago at first. High fly ball center field on the track, right up against the wall. The yard held it that time. Miranda Stoddard made a run at a homer. Couldn't get there. Numbers though.
I mean, the biggest thing with the change is, the travel obviously is all different this year, so it has been something to adjust to with some great programs into the Big 12. And, while a lot of games have been played in the season, they're really just getting into the meat of that right now.
Good pitch in on the hands. It's been a pleasure to watch the diligence of Miranda Stoddard tonight in this game. Stick-to-itness that she has shown, and the way she has pitched in when she needs to. Not really chasing the strikeout a ton.
She's just very businesslike, Darren. And I think that's the maturity. That's having played a lot of ball at Kentucky and then now here at Arizona.
You watch a game, you young softballers out there, you young pitchers, I know your daughter's a pitcher. Like, when you get comfortable in yourself, a hard line drive like that fouls a strike. Okay, good for you. That's a strike. And then a great response, a pitch down and away. It's a wonderful approach, but right into the glove. Swan did what she was supposed to do, but a couple of steps over. Altmaier made the play.
Yeah, she is using her array of pitches to keep the hitters off balance, and so, you know, a little bit of contact there, but the defender was there. Altmaier came in, made a nice catch.
Looks like we're going to shake things up a little bit. Nehanda Lewis will get the call, the super sophomore.
Nehanda Lewis, I told her teammates call her Nene.
But that's not what Mom calls her.
And Mom is what matters, right? Nehanda.
Exactly right.
Nehanda's up to bat.
From Land O'Lakes, Florida. Transferred in from Central Florida, so last weekend meant a lot to her, getting back to where she was. Ran the 100, ran the 200 and the 4x100, and jumped long jump, I should say, in her junior and senior seasons. Was an all-region track star. She's got a really bright future.
I mean, so many of these young ladies are great athletes, multi-sport athletes in high school, and it just plays at this level. You need that when you're playing Division I college softball.
Hitting for Yaya Acuna. And the first pitch, he's in the hole, 0-1 the count. Her senior year of high school, hit .410, got on base at a .521 clip and slugged more than 800. Just 10 games last year at Central Florida, all off the bench, ran quite a bit. Fouled that one off at home plate. Ouch. Got a piece of Sydney Stewart.
Yeah, that'll hurt. Stoddard continues to throw strikes and attack the hitters. Ahead in the count here, 1 and 2. 49 pitches really tells you how efficient that she has been in this game.
And her strike percentage is just shy of 80%.
Wow.
I mean, she has crushed the strike zone. We'll do it again, 1 and 2.
I feel like, you know, anytime you're sniffing 70% as far as strikes, you're doing well. So to hear that she's up around 80 is impressive.
ASU with 5 total at bats with runners on base are just 1 of 5. Backed off, that's strike 3. Outstanding pitch, changed up on her that time.
Yeah, really good movement on that.
Lillian Holt-J gets the call. Another freshman and a Floridian.
Yeah, Megan Bartlett trying to shake up the bottom of the order here.
Lily Hoche.
Lily appearing in her 29th game this year, hitting .245, but that's not really the story. Let's get past that. Her on base is .438. One hop out to second. Didn't wait around at all, did Lily. Right to the second baseman, Kiki Escobar, and back onto the ground she goes. That's where Stoddard's so tough.
And that's exactly what Megan Bartlett said. She said you know, not only did she say this might feel like a super regional, but it's time to woman up. This is an intense rivalry. It feels personal quickly. And so you have to stay present, limit your distractions.
Good stuff, Jody. Played on a backhand down to a knee, right back up with it. Ho Ching made that one look easy.
And Tipton gets another out. Again, if she's in the zone, she can be very good, even as a young freshman now. A nice defense behind her. Tiare Ho Ching doing her thing back there. Another freshman.
So they get Shep, who hit it hard. And now Jenna Sniffen reached on a walk. Stole a base, kind of uniquely stole a base. Tagalog was running for her when that occurred after she had reached. Beautiful pitch and a nice job stealing a strike by Sam Swan there. That was a good softball off the plate, but the way Sam presented it helped her steal that one in front of Stephen Gould. 1-2.
Yeah, framing is an art, as you know, and a nice job by Sam. Just looking at Julianne Tipton, a member of Southern Force 18U National out of Huntsville, Alabama.
You have a team that manages to gather and pull a lot of great athletes anywhere in that part of the world is the Bolts out of Birmingham, Alabama. Good program now out of Huntsville you're talking about as that one's fouled back to the screen.
You're dialed in.
I try to be.
I don't know how you do it. I honestly don't know, Darren, how you keep everybody straight.
It's easy, I'll tell you. I think Dan Hay, who founded PGF out in California, or out in Huntington Beach, and for more than a decade, I've been able to call all the PGF broadcasts just during the 2 weeks of Nationals. But you see all the athletes at that one.
And then you see him again here in college.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. Right out of the circle, they get Sniffen. This has been fun, I'm telling you, for Tipton.
Yeah, I think you're seeing a glimpse of, like you said, her best outing, Utah Valley. But the more she can stack these kind of outings where she's along.
Really good screwball, by the way, to throw that first pitch to Taylor Beal. Cold inside and off the plate. Gosh, this is a pitcher that in her last 2 innings of work has given up 5 runs. And you know what that is, to me anyway, and we talked to Coach at length about it. That's understanding the metrics, knowing about the work ethic, and knowing, hey, a breakthrough's coming. And I can't just sit her down. I need her. A breakthrough's coming. And we may be seeing one of those. This is one of the best offensive teams in the land.
Yeah, no question, and this experience is great for all of these pitchers. But you're right, and that 11-0 loss at UCF, that's the game where Tipton got 2 outs but gave up the 4 runs. That was, Coach was pretty honest with us. She was just upset after that loss. But it's a type of a game you can really grow from.
As she called it, the best and worst loss of the year. It becomes the best if you grow from it, right? But it started out as the worst. She, as you said, was hacked, and she had some things to say to her team. Everyone says I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that meeting. I wouldn't want to be. I'd be scared. I wouldn't want to be that fly. That's outside. Ball 4.
Yeah, I hear you. There's, you don't want the wrath of some of these coaches. And, Megan Bartlett is a lovely person. But the coach is upset. She's going to let her team have it. And you know what they did? They responded the next day, and they won the game.
I'll frustrate you a little bit when you take the 9-hole hitter, you get 2 quick outs and issue a walk. This could be a tough play. There will be no play. And that's what Dakota Kennedy does. Extends the inning. Slaps that one toward the hole. Base hit left field. Charging up with it right to the cutoff man. But Reagan Shockey with a beautiful swing, the center fielder.
This is what Arizona will do to you, is that they will... they can hit homers, and they hit a 3-run homer earlier, but they can also just put the ball in play. And all of a sudden now, as well as Tipton had done in coming into this game, now she's got 2 outs, but the bases are loaded.
And now this is the portion of the lineup where you literally are put into a sausage grinder. Because there is danger, there is damage, but these hitters will not expand out of the zone. A couple of them, Kaya Altmaier's one, and then a couple of hitters later, Sydney Stewart's another. They just don't chase.
Yeah, it's that plate discipline. And the ability, now again, they're going to get a look at Tipton here, but They have the scouting report on her. They've seen the video, ready to go, and high motivation here with the bases loaded.
And you saw Netz waiting in the on-deck circle, a little bit more aggressive of a hitter, a damage hitter. 1-0 the count. Altmaier reached on a miscue, catcher's interference back in the third, walked and was stranded in the first, and struck out in the fifth inning.
That can put the ball in play, has power, great defender, steals bases.
Made her verbal on July 6th of 2023, did Ho Ching, TRA. 400 career hitter in high school. Senior year hit .595. And her finishing school was her travel team. She played for the Athletics Mercado, which is a really well-known group. David Mercado, whose daughters both played Division I softball, one of them playing for the Arizona Wildcats. David runs that group, and Darren Smith coached that Mercado team. So that was really her softball finishing school.
And you're right, the girls coming out of a club team like that, like Mercado, they're well prepared for this. Nothing can really prepare you for, D1 softball as a freshman, you've never experienced it before. But it's about as good as it gets with the type of competition that they play, put themselves in the situation for huge tournaments.
Skies that one to the right side. Nice job communicating. So what was interesting there is not only did she drift back to make that play, speaking about Kiki Escobar, but those hands were waving too, like letting her know, hey, I've got this one. Good job. Kelsey Hall. 1-0 the count. Kelsey plays every single thing she does, I'm guessing, outside of playing, studying, treating other people, all the things she does as she rolls that one out towards short to honor her dad. It was a couple of falls ago that she tragically lost her dad, Mike. Can't even imagine. Look, I can't even imagine being that age and going through that. But she has certainly made him proud, the kind of leader she is on the team, the career she's had at Fresno State, Boise State, and here. And Mike's memory certainly lives on.
Absolutely. I got a chance to talk to Kelsey yesterday. Just a wonderful young woman. Fires up her team, gets Arizona State on that's the bat as a pitchfork.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
I got it. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, little moments that can kind of break through your confidence a little bit, because in all likelihood, they'll see Stoddard again on Sunday. So anything that you can build upon that's positive, although I don't know of a pitcher that beats that swing, the confidence to let it travel deep into her stance. I was glad you mentioned the timing mechanism. She really got that foot down. Mm-hmm. There's like a crossover.
Yeah, Tanya Jets gets over to third base.
A 3-hit night. Those nights are hard to come by at this level.
Especially against Stoddard, who was really cruising for most of this game.
All right, let's see if we're making a move. Yeah, Devin's got a different glove. Devin may be called upon to close this game out. Stoddard hands the game ball to her. And it looks like it's going to be Grace Molitor, by the way, has a bat in her hands. Devin looks to grab the next 4 outs in this game. And an Arizona Wildcats win. It's the veteran with an edge, Devin Netz, in a moment. Devin can pitch. 67 innings when called upon, a very important part of this team. And she can start, she can close. She's got an edge, as I talked about. 62 strikeouts, 11 walks, 62 strikeouts. So, Jody, about 1 per inning. It's a little bit different than Stoddard, though. She's coming at you. She's coming at you.
And you talked about how fearless Netz is. She can really use, she wants to change the eye level up and down, use her off speed as well.
So Grace Molitor is a 2025 grad. Wait, how does that work? Well, she finished up early, played her senior year in the fall, and left her high school behind and is now in college. Where
Wow.
she should still be, hanging out with her buddies, being in college in Marthasville, Missouri.
Yeah, Marthasville, Missouri, Washington High School. And yeah, her friends, I'm sure, are getting ready for prom as she swings and misses there. And here she is, wow. So she is a very young freshman and opted to come right here to Arizona State.
Coach King thinking, wait, you're leaving us? That's it? You're out of here? Wait, don't leave. Kudos to her, though, on what she was able to do. Some of her travel softball played pretty well for the Louisville Lady Sluggers, getting enough attention. And she's a little bit older. It's not like she's 16 at this point. I mean, she's 18. So she was a little bit older already for her class. And she goes down. I told you, Devin was coming at you. It is just good old-fashioned hardball. But that's what closers do. Mejia with the homer. They get Molitor to end things.
Really did her job, just got into some trouble in that sixth. But it's been all Wildcats.
Devin laid on it, shoots it foul off to the right side.
And pardon me, Darren. Going back to the start of the game, I mean, as Caitlin Lowe spoke about in our interview with her, patient at bats, knowing that Kenzie Brown, would throw them some hittable pitches, and they made that happen.
1-1 the count to Devin. That curveball spun out of the zone. I would imagine we see Devin go back out to close this thing out. Saya Swain is who I can't wait to see pitch. She may not pitch in this one. She's kind of third on that depth chart and a true closer if you need her to be. Didn't mean to, Devin, but she did. 1-2 the count. There are some of those spinny metrics we talked about.
Well, it's amazing when you see the ball when Swan has to jump up to catch that ball, but yet coming into the hitter, it looks hittable.
1-2 ties her up. Just a single hop over there to third. To Kyla Davis, over to Aiden Allen. 5-3 ground out here in the top of the seventh to start things.
Got a couple Wildcats, number 21, Sydney Stewart.
There really are very few atmospheres that match this one, and kudos to actually both schools in this state. They take Hillenbrand down there in Tucson and they fill it. This gorgeous yard, Farrington, they fill it. This is a softball state.
It really is, and I mean, it makes sense because of the weather, but you've also got some great schools with big-time tradition and some really loyal fans, some fans that love to come out and watch their teams.
Tied her up, making some tough pitches. Yeah, that's that screwball again. I'm sure the metrics were big on it because it was right on her knuckles by the time she swung.
What was the name of the machine again?
Yakkertech.
Yakkertech. I
Yakkertech.
love that. See, all that I'm learning here tonight, and Coach mentioned it too, but you're very familiar with the Yakkertech.
Oh, I'm a geeky amateur baseball and softball guy, so of course.
I loved how you were talking hitting, though, earlier about, trusting your hands and getting over that bridge, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, Darren, you were a pitcher.
Yes, many hitters started their career against me, many. Craig Counsell, manager of the Brewers, started what was a very great career, a couple of world championships. First hit, I gave it up. I love starting careers. No, it's fun, like talking to so many young hitters when they're juniors and seniors in high school. And folks, I'm talking softball and baseball both. And it's hard to trust your hands. It really is. But you don't spend all that time in the gym to not.
Well, Tipton's getting some good swing and miss here.
She looks great.
She
I agree
really
with you.
does.
Julianne, District 4A Pitcher of the Year. Hands an uncomfortable swing that time. Aiden Allen, out number one. 2 outs to go.
Yeah, first pitch swinging, and
They missed Devin Netz all of last year. They're glad to have her back and healthy. 2 years ago, she threw 171 in the third innings for this team. By the way, hit 13 homers as a hitter. And pitched to a higher ERA, 4.99. She's really cut that. Popped up foul territory. Great communication by the shortstop. The Gold Glover, Taylor Beal, let Sniffen know that's mine. She had the better angle. Nice play.
Well, Beal makes the first two plays here in this bottom of the seventh. Just some fly balls. And now the Sun Devils down to their final out.
Yaya Acuna gets to enter her Devils as they dominate them tonight.